If you clicked on this video, it means that you care about doing better for the planet. And for that, I thank you, because we really need everyone out here doing their best. And you probably also know that it is very expensive to get a sustainability certification like B Corp or USDA Organic. They can cost up to $10,000 for one certification and a lot of work. I'm not here to tell you to get one of those. I want to empower you and your small business to embrace sustainability without overdoing it with your resources. That includes financial resources, especially if you're a solopreneur. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna show you 5 practical ways to integrate eco-friendly practices into your business that cost $0. Why am I doing this? Because it's time for your small business to break into the sustainability market. This green market is the fastest growing industry because people are starting to wake up and they're starting to really want to support sustainable businesses. So we need to get you into that money-making market. I'll also discuss some tips to actually get these done without having a lot of time. Maybe you're working full-time as well. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan to implement these 5 things that will make your small business more sustainable and that you'll be able to use to market yourself as a sustainable small business. And of course, build a more sustainable small business in the coming year. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? My name is Mari Cruz. I'm an engineer, environmentalist, and entrepreneur. And in this channel, I show you how to grow your side business while you're working full-time. I'm currently growing 2 businesses on the side while being a full-time engineer, and I'm doing it pretty well. I found a way to manage it all, and I want to share that with you so that you can also grow sustainably. I'm starting out with the easiest one, but also the most often overlooked, and that is reaching inbox 0. This is something nobody thinks about. How many emails do you send a day? I send hundreds of emails a day. But did you know that one email with just text emits 4 grams of CO2 into the environment? That's equivalent to 6 minutes of a regular light bulb. That's crazy. 6 minutes of light for one email. And then multiply that by whatever amount of emails that you sent. And this is because your email goes on this digital voyage when you hit send. It has to be stored in your computer, get to the destination, and then be stored in their inbox. And then what happens? We look at it, we open it, and then we just leave it there. This email has to be stored somewhere. See, this is something that people don't think about. Your email, I know we think about the cloud a lot, like your information is in the cloud, but it's not a cloud. It's a building full of computers that are storing your data. These computers get really hot. Have you ever had your laptop on your lap and then it gets really warm? Yes, these computers also get hot. So then they need to be cooled. Obviously, they need energy to be on and functioning. So this requires a lot of energy. So everything that you have to store digitally is stored physically somewhere in a data center. These things are massive. Email. That is a big source of carbon emissions. So email inbox 0 is where you go through your email and either permanently delete your emails or put them in a folder that you can reference later. So I'm not saying you have to delete all of your emails permanently because obviously there's information in there that you might need in the future. But if you don't need it, you're gonna delete it. And then you're gonna empty your trash because otherwise it's just stored in your trash, right? And so at the end of this, you end up having an inbox that's empty. And there's like no other feeling like it. Like opening up your email and seeing that there's nothing there, that means that you addressed every email that you needed to address and that you most likely got that action item done if there was an action item. So it just feels really good. Another thing you can do, unsubscribe from any newsletters that you don't read and from any subscriptions that you have, like promotional with stores and brands and stuff. Yeah, so that's completely free for you to do, and it's gonna reduce your carbon emissions significantly. And then once you do this, you can share that with your customers and share that you are taking this extra step to address your carbon emissions. So this could be a great point for you to market as your business being more green. Number 2 is free environmental certifications or memberships. We know that the big certifications like B Corp can cost thousands of dollars, but there's also some that are more affordable and also some that are free. If you're in California, there is an organization called Green Business California that has a certification that is completely free. You have to put in the work to actually tell them how your business is sustainable, which does take a little bit of time, but it's completely free. And then you can put that logo, the logo for Green Business California, everywhere in your website, in your product, wherever you'd like. And you're also doing sustainable things for the planet. So it's kind of like a win-win. It's kind of like a win-win, okay? So go to Green Business California and start your application today because it's completely free and it will be a great thing to promote to your customers to show that you are doing your best to protect the planet. If you're a solopreneur and you're working from home, like I do, you can still apply and they'll just count your home as your storefront. Another one that is free to apply to is the Leaping Bunny certification. So this is if you're selling a product and it is cruelty free, so you don't test on any animals. You can also apply for that. It's a great thing to put on your packaging. People look for that and it's free to apply. One last one that I'll throw in here is 1% for the planet. This is not free, but it is pretty affordable. So 1% for the planet. The idea behind it is that companies will commit 1% of their profits to environmental partners that are doing good things for the planet. But if you don't make more than $500,000 a year, you pay $500 and instead of like the 1% and still be a member. Like you're still a full member. You get all the perks of being in that network, of being able to market and use the logo in your products. There's also a catalog and it's really marketing gold that you can use to increase your sales. So this is another good option to look at. It's not free, but it's pretty affordable. Number 3 is website optimization. And this is kind of similar to the email inbox thing. Whenever you have anything in a digital space, it is using up data and therefore using resources in the data centers to cool them, to run them, physical space, everything. So when you optimize your website, you are reducing carbon emissions. What this might look like is to make your website really streamlined. So not too many heavy videos or heavy pictures. Heavy is probably not the right word, but you know what I mean? Like it's not a lot of data. That helps a lot with carbon emissions. I'm gonna actually link my web developer that I use. Her name is Gift because she is very affordable and she also has a lot of blogs and how-to guides on her website. So you can do this completely for free on your own and it's really helpful to have that guide. Sometimes your website host has a free optimization tool, so check that first. But if not, you can totally do it on your own. That website shows you exactly how to do it. And all you have to put in is a little elbow grease, as they say. And then you can have a more sustainable website, which who knew, right? Oh, and real quickly on digital space, you can also do a Chrome extension called Ecosia. Every time you search, they plant a tree somewhere. And it just works the same as Google, but they work with nonprofits that are planting trees all around the world. So that's kind of cool. And then again, you can market this as something that you are doing to be more sustainable, positioning yourself as a more green business. The 4th way to be more sustainable that is completely free is to partner with environmental nonprofits. You can maybe host an event with them. You can do a fundraiser with them and bring in your community of customers to help that nonprofit. All of that is free and very much appreciated by nonprofits. You could also serve in a committee within a nonprofit or in a board. And lastly, think about partnerships that you can do with nonprofits that will help your business. So for example, here in San Diego, there is a nonprofit called Plastic Beach, which recycles soft plastics, the ones like where clothes come in. It's not recyclable in your home recycling. So if you have a lot of those, then you can partner with that nonprofit and get your plastics recycled. And it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Obviously, if you are partnering with a nonprofit that's in an environmental cause, then you can use that to promote yourself as a green business. And I'm gonna keep repeating that over and over again because as a small business, you're already more sustainable than all corporations out there. So I want you to brag about it a little bit, okay? The final tip that I have on here to make your business more sustainable without paying any money is to tell your customers how to take care of your product's end of life. What I mean by end of life is like, once they're done with it, what do they do with it? If you have a product, this is pretty straightforward: how to recycle it, how to dispose of it, how to compost it, whatever it might be. If you have a service, we talked about how digital data is actually emitting a lot of carbon. So maybe what to do with your services once they're done with it, if there's digital files that they use, or if you have a service-based business where you're using chemicals or something, like how to deal with your product, basically. And here's the key here. Here's the key. Even if your packaging or your service in itself is not sustainable, telling them how to get rid of it is sustainable. So what I mean by this is, even if your packaging is plastic, telling them to recycle it the proper way is more sustainable than just keeping quiet. And it doesn't matter that it's not a compostable package. Like, as long as you tell them how to get rid of it, that is more sustainable. And that, I think, merits you claiming to be a more sustainable company, if that makes sense. I hope it does. If not, ask me in the comments. I'll try to clarify. And you might be asking, how am I going to do this? You can do this on social media. You can do it on your website. You can do it on the email that they get after they purchase your product, or maybe a couple emails after, once they got a chance to try your product. So it could be really anywhere. Okay, so we went through these 5 tips. Now you're probably thinking, I have no time to do this. I'm gonna share a few tips on how to actually get these done without overwhelming yourself, because that's what I'm all about, right? We're building businesses out here on the side with limited time, but we're gonna do it sustainably and we're gonna do it without burning out. So here are my tips on how to actually get these things done. First tip is to tackle one thing at a time, and to do it in a set time. So maybe you say, I'm gonna do one of these things a quarter. Or maybe you say, I'm gonna do one every other month. And I'm gonna focus on one thing for 2 months straight. And that's it. Like, you don't have to overwhelm yourself. I know as entrepreneurs, we just wanna do it all at once and think we have to and think we can. And then we end up burning out. So don't do that. Just do one thing at a time and spread them out. This quarter, you're gonna focus on email inbox zero. The next quarter, you're gonna focus on building partnerships with nonprofits, etc., etc. You get the idea. Tip number 2 is to get free labor. That sounds funny, but there are internship programs at universities and community college and even some high schools that are looking for small businesses to support with free interns. This is something that we use all the time for Sunmud, and it's been great. We've had already 4 cohorts of interns, and they do really good work because they're so excited to help, and it's completely free. So what I want you to do is to look up a college or university near you and just Google to see if there's any business internship opportunities. You can just email the business professors and see if they know of any program like that. And lastly, tip number 3 is to potentially hire someone to do these things. And I say this because in this digital world, there are actually opportunities to hire people for very, very, very affordable prices. So if you go on Fiverr.com, for example, I'll leave the link down below, you can hire somebody for very cheap to do these things, especially the digital stuff like the website optimization. You could hire somebody for, I don't know, $13 an hour or something for them to do it for you. So give it a thought. I know this was supposed to be tips that are completely free, but I mean, it's pretty affordable. Your time is worth more than whatever you're gonna pay for somebody else to do it. And a bonus tip right here, of course, I have to plug myself in. You can subscribe to this channel, it's completely free, and I show you how to run a sustainable business without burning out, even if you're working full time. So if any of that sounds good, I would invite you to join me. And I think you'll really enjoy this video next. If not, I will see you next week. Until then, don't forget, Poquito goes a long way. Ciao.